Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Wild Tales of KYRIE, issue number 1. And this is a book made by Matt Krotz, and I reviewed a couple of books by Matt as well in the past. KYRIE was his original book, and this is a spin-off. And Matt Krotz is an American. He's a great guy. I talked to him a couple of times. I have him on my channel also a while ago. And he is basically a very big fan of European art and storytelling, and it reflects in his comics. So basically there are 2 of them. This is the first one, and this is also an alternate cover that I have won, yes. So I got it, I believe 2 days ago. What I'm trying to say. Oh yeah. So basically there are 2 books. And every book has 1 or 2, maybe 3 small stories about certain characters in a certain time period. And it's actually fun. And there's also one of the main characters called Myra, who is in this comic as well. She is, I believe, if I remember correctly, one of the main protagonists in the book of KYRIE itself. So we tackle these stories a little bit here. It's also made by very cool people. The first one is by Matt Krotz, who's of course the writer, and drawn by, and also Greg Mendelson, but it's also drawn by Fresher Luke. Now Fresher Luke has also made a couple of comics on Indiegogo, and if I'm looking real quick, I believe it's Forsaken Gods. Let me look at it real quick. I like indie comics. I buy a lot of them if my wallet allows me to. And Fresher Luke is. I saw him yesterday on the channel, and he promoted his book, and I like his art a lot. The second one, Spectre of the Witch, is also written by Matt Krotz and Matt Rice, if I'm saying that correctly, and it's drawn by Raiden Rogue. Probably butcher that. I'm not familiar with that artist, but its art looks really, really good. So let's dive in and see if it's actually good. Well, I know it's good because I read him, and I'm a big fan of his work. So we start here, and I believe in Rome, and what's the 272 CE. Matt Krotz is also a big fan of ancient history. That's actually his thing. He likes that. He is very knowledgeable about those time periods. I am not. I watched Ben-Hur when I was little. I like spectacle movies just like this, and it reflects here as well. That's where the storytelling is going. But I'm rambling, so let's dive in. So it seems there are 2 kingdoms. They have probably a rival chariot race, and this person says, "Not to worry, my lord, this race has been arranged. An issue with the horses on lap 2. That's probably not his real voice, but I like doing stuff like that. And before we go in, these stories are small, so I'm spoiling a lot. So if you do not want to get spoiled, don't watch this video. I highly recommend you pick up this book yourself, but I'm going to spoil a lot here. So, moving on. It seems that the hero of one of these kingdoms is called Hadrax or Hadrax, and this young, stable boy or something gives him the ropes, and he noticed that something is off. And then the race starts, and we see a cool shot of Rome and the chariot races. And but the young boy noticed that something is off, and he asks the rider, where is he? And then the rider says, "Sorry kid, this ain't your day." So there's something off. This is not the real Adrax. And the race moving on, and everybody uses tricks to get rid of the competition, and it looks fantastic. But the boy wants to defend and get rid of this imposter. Because he's loyal to Hadrax, I guess. And then we see this the sword stabs through the chariot, and well, this is what's gonna happen. And yeah, so the whole thing breaks in two, but the race is not over. It's still moving on while these two have, well, fighting each other, and all these people are watching in awe and excitement, and in probably even in panic. And this looks very cool. So even though the chariot is broken, it goes over the finish line as first. Well, everybody breaks through. Everything is broken, and then, hey, wait a minute, there's something wrong. So this is not the person that that what I'm trying to say. Sorry, my English is not that good. That it is changed into Hadrax. Yeah, that's probably the right word. And no, it's the stable boy. The stable boy is now the hero, and it gets a very cool send off. And then Mira comes, and he says, "The job is done, but you keep your coin." And Hadrax, so this is the real Hadrax, by the way. She says, "Tip the kid. He deserved it." So this is a nice, cool story. Fresh Luke is really good with facial expressions and movement. I like his art a lot. So check out his campaign on Indiegogo. You know what? I'm gonna leave not only Matt Crox's campaign in the description, but also Fresh Luke. He deserves that. He deserves a lot of backers. He's a great guy. So yeah, this is the first story, and it's very short, but it's it's heartwarming. It's good. It's feels nice. Art is good. The colors are great. And then we're moving on to the Spectre Witch in 1904 CE, Chapter 2. So this is a little bit more complicated because this is a how do you say? This is a war between Russians and Japanese, and those people are there are, well, according to I want to say the Wikipedia, but that's not it. The campaign: revolutionaries, turncoats, and spies fight to claim an ancient power from Japan's founding. So yeah, these are traders, and they found something. They found, I believe they call this a spear. It looks like a dagger or a sword. And this is one from Japanese, and they are defecting, if you will. And he's Mongolian, and the Mongolian says, "I'm looking for Major Gromov," and the Japanese guy says, "Well, he's come here lately." So, and the Japanese tells about the story about this artifact, and then we see some really cool art. So he explains that in 1700 years ago, Japan was a mess, and there was one woman that united Japan, and her name is Himiko, and but she was a powerful sorceress, and she made a deal. Believed, or she bewitched the dark creature, a serpent, that came to her at night, and he reveals all the dark secrets of her enemies. They know what they're doing. She knows what they're doing, what they're thinking, and that gives her total reign. And she has have a natural lifespan. I also love the fact that she is all here on the bloody throne, and the serpent is slithering around her. So yeah, she was the absolute ruler. But then time moves on. At one point, she died. But then the heirs want to have the power of the dragon. But the dragon was very loyal to Himiko. And the rumor was that her ashes is still protected by the serpent. And then the Major comes. And the Major says, hey, probably he hired them, but I'm not entirely sure. To get the artifact. So he explains that, with the power of Himiko and the dragon in his possession, he is going to have probably a big, major tactical advantage. And then the Japanese guy says, "And thanks to the lieutenant from Mongolia, we have the Himiko spear." And he says, "Himiko," and then, he didn't turn at all. He's basically the enemy. And he says, "I come from Hokkaido, Japan." I've been to Japan twice now, yeah. And Hokkaido, I've never been there, but I heard that's a very lovely place. Anyway, the Major is not a slouch, and he beats him real quick. But the Mongolian is saying, "Himiko and a cursed serpent are not yours to take." And he says, "Behold the lawyer man," refreshing. He throws a table at him. And so he goes outside, and he says that the serpent and Himiko are too powerful for the Japanese, and shouting at exactly from he's even too powerful for the Tsar. And the Tsar is probably the ruler of Russia at a point. And he said, "Only the revolution can wield the serpent." And then the Mongolian does this. He unlocks or dislocks the wagons from the train, and then but the Japanese helps him for a reason. Maybe he has a change of heart somehow, and then he throws the bag into the. I'm not sure what the word is, but I call it the furnace of the train. You know, that you throw coal in it to get it, moving, and then the thing exploding, and the bag is with the artifacts, by the way. And then the dragon is awake, and he said, "Who disturbs the sanctity of our chamber?" And then the major shoots the Mongolian, and he takes the spear, and he says, "Oh, hail, great wakeful of Nihon." And he basically wants to bargain that he is now in control and wants to rule, or control the dragon. And he says, "I come bearing the spear of your queen Himiko. The people have no peace without the watchful guidance." But then the dragon says, "You have no peace." And he burns him, which is really cool. But then the Mongolian gives the Japanese something, I believe the ashes of Himiko. And then we see the gruesome fate of these two, evil guys. He's burning, and one of these, people from, I don't know who this is, maybe a soldier or something. He's getting killed while he's still burning. He smells the ashes, screams, and throws it into the furnace of the locomotive while they are, driving. Is that a word? On ice, well, it's not on ice, but it's on these rails, and then everything collapses and explodes, and then they fall into the ice-cold ice, and then we see here that the dragon is probably drowning. It's going to be continued. Yeah, this is a continuation into another book. What I like, before we go into in the last part, I like that the dragon is laughing while he slaughters everyone. Well, these two, by the way. Sadistic. Very cool. So yeah, it looks freaking awesome. And to be... can I show you this? Yeah, sure, why not? So this is the KYRIE books. It's very cheap. It's very thick. I highly recommend picking this up. He's also a website at Mac Crocs. You can get these books. It's really fun. Very highly saturated colors. Great story. I reviewed it on my channel. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Why not? And and there's some concept art of the characters of KYRIE. So this is Mira. I forgot the name of this fella, but he's one of the main protagonists as well. And as you can see, it's really, really cool. It feels really European. And look at this. It's a great pinup. Awesome. Wild Tales of KYRIE. KYRIE. Definitely worth a buy. Please pick this up if you haven't. This is great stuff. And there's more coming soon. And you know what? I've been featuring in KYRIE issue 3. I have my likeness drawn. I'm a nasty character. But I'm not going to tell you much about that. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. Just give me a like. And maybe you said something in the comments below. That would be fun. I'll see you next time.